My friends, I'm tzedakah together with our prayers for the well-being of all our brothers and sisters around the entire world, and particularly in Eretz Israel. They should already finish that war, the final war of battle against Amalek, the eradication of all evil, and the revealing of Mashiach, the Beis Hamikdash, and the ultimate peace for all of us. We did way too many sacrifices, human sacrifices. Judaism does not believe or accept human sacrifices. But talking about sacrifices, let us have a little look about the biblical narrative about sacrifices. Because really sacrifices as an integral part of the service of the Beis Hamikdash, in the Mishkan, in the desert, and then later on in the first and the second temple. And it's mentioned numerous times in Torah. Vayikra, the parashiyot that we're reading now, learning like Vayikra, Tzav, Shmini, extensive discussion about sacrifices. Sacrifices is an integral part, has long been part of the Jewish and human history. Cain and Abel, Cain and Hevel, sons of Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve, brought sacrifices to God. We know that Cain brought from the fruits of the ground, and Abel brought from the choicest of his sheep. And that's why God preferred the one from Hevel, from Abel, because he gave the best of what he had. And Cain gave the leftovers. And since then there is a jealousy from Cain to Hevel. Noah, when he came out from the ark, he brought sacrifices. When Avram Avinu was called upon to sacrifice his son, and then when he was stopped by God, tell him it's just a test, right after this, he brought a ram as a burnt offering in place of Yitzchak. During the 40 years of wandering in the desert, sacrifices was a mainstay of the Mishkan. Then it continued to be brought when the Jewish people came to the land of Israel, first in the Mishkan, which was in Gilgal for 14 years, and then in Shiloh for 369 years, and then the first and second, the Holy Temple, 410 and 420 years. So this is an integral part of basic Judaism. So let's have a little discussion about it. And we'll spend the next few days, if God forbid, we'll not yet actually bring the sacrifices in the temple. So animal sacrifices are generally divided into 4 categories. The burnt offering, called the oilah, the sin offering, korban chatos, a guilt offering, called asham. Don't confuse it with being ashamed. It's asham, a guilt offering, and korban shlamim, a peace offering. Korban toida, etc. A burnt offering, mean a oilah, was sacrificed entirely on the altar, except for the animal's skin. A sin or guilt offering, korban chatos, would be partially burnt on the altar, with the rest consumed by the kohanim, the priests. A peace offering, korban shlamim, would be divided among the altar, the mizbeach, some of it burnt on the altar on the mizbeach, some of it to the priest, and some of it to the individual who brought the sacrifice. Another way of categorizing it is based on the level of sanctity. Certain sacrifices are called Kodshei Kodeshim, Holy of Holies, the highest level of sanctity. The others are called Kodeshim Kalim, a lower level of sanctity, and these could be eaten by any Jew throughout the walled city of Yerushalayim. When bringing a mammal offering, because there was other offerings also, birds or flour, the person bringing the sacrifice will rest his hands on the animal and, where applicable, confess his sins, if it was a sin offering. The animal would then be slaughtered and its blood captured in a specially designed utensil, which was then applied to the walls of the mizbeach, either by sprinkling, smearing, or pouring, depending what kind of sacrifice. And then depending on the type of sacrifice, either the entire animal or certain parts of it would be sacrificed on the altar, as we discussed earlier, while other parts could be eaten by priests or the person who brought the sacrifice. But we have to understand that the sacrificial service was not primarily about the physical act of slaughtering an animal. It was principally a spiritual service. On a basic level, if the sacrifice was being brought to atone for some inadvertent sin, one had to feel remorse over what had happened. And to assist in reaching true repentance, he would bear in mind that what was being done to the animal essentially should have occurred to him.